Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts video. And this time I'm just going to do a quick E3 roundup. I'm not giving each company their own specific video this year. One, I just don't have time to do it. And two, I've been working a lot. So I just really don't have time to do it. I prefer to do it that way, but honestly, again, I just don't have the time. Now, before I even get into who I thought had the best show this year, I'm going to preface this by saying I think everyone actually had a pretty decent showing this year. Now, preferences go to who showed certain things a certain way, but I think everyone pretty much had a decent show this year. And even if there was some I just didn't really care for. I'm not really going to go over the third-party conferences because I don't really feel the need to. Plus, theirs I kind of skimmed through a bit. I didn't really watch them. I only really paid a lot of attention to Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. That said, my favorite show among the big three was honestly Microsoft's this year because they came with a lot of content. Sure, it was a long show, but again, they came with a lot of content. They came with a ton of games and a lot of extensive showings of games. And that was great. That was awesome for me. I was cool with that. Kind of confused by so many people downplaying the shit out of Microsoft this year because they did pretty damn awesome. They had a really good conference this year. I think they showed off They showed off 40 games, and I think at least 11 of them were exclusive to Microsoft, which was an amazing thing. That's awesome. That is pretty good. I could be wrong on that exclusive number. I don't remember this year because I know they had a lot of exclusive stuff that I was kind of interested in. Sony also did not have too bad of a conference, but they are my low. They're grade C for me, and it's mostly because their conference dragged on for no reason. They didn't show a whole lot of games, but what they showed was actually quite interesting and actually pretty good. I think it was Ghost of Setsuna. Is that what it was? Ghost of Setsuna. I know a lot of the games were I want to play them. I looked at them, I was like, I would love to play that. But they dragged on their conferences for no reason. They dragged on that conference for no reason because they didn't show us live gameplay footage. Live gameplay of the games being played. When they had the developers talking about them, they just repeated the trailer, which... Okay, fine. The trailers look nice and everything, but you're showing me the exact same footage over and over again. That gets to be boring. The games themselves look awesome. But that kind of took a toll on me. I'm no, this is too long. You guys could have wrapped this up real quick. Y'all didn't need this much time. You really didn't. They had good games. All the games that they showed were good. There's no doubt about that. Everything that they showed off was pretty damn interesting. But no, when you have the developers talking about it and you're not showing me active gameplay footage or live gameplay footage, no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to keep repeating the trailer over and over and over again. That is annoying. And that's why I put Sony below Microsoft and Nintendo. And people will probably be like, well, Nintendo didn't show a whole lot this year either. Most of their conference was about Smash. You know what? They told you ahead of time. You knew what to expect. If you're going to get mad at them, you're going to be mad at them either way. But, I can't change that. I'm not expecting to change that either. But I'm sorry. But, being reasonable, they told you what they were doing. They still showed off a decent number of games. And their direct wasn't that long. That mech game, Demon X Machina. I'm so interested in that because it gives me, it makes me gives me a Robotech Battle Cry vibes, and I really want to play that. So I'm like, go ahead, like that's cool with me. I will play it. Like, and they showed Mario Party, and Mario Party now has online, so that's cool. And yes, they did talk about Smash for most of their conference, sort of most of the direct. Even though the direct honestly wasn't that long, yeah, they spent 25 minutes talking about Smash because it's going to be their biggest game this year. So, like, that shouldn't shock anyone. But they did spend at least 20 minutes prior to that talking about other games. And again, as with Sony, all of the stuff that they showed I was interested in. Like, I want to play it. Like, that for me, like, yeah, that's a good showing. Like, you show a bunch of stuff that I want to play, fine, that's cool. Like, I get that people were disappointed that there was no mention of Metroid and a couple other games, but you also have to think about the fact that Nintendo doesn't like to show off their games unless they have something ready or that they deem of a decent quality to show. They're not going to just show you off a bunch of stuff for Metroid if the game isn't really ready to be shown. Like, they like especially with the Metroid series, Nintendo is heavy on making sure that those games look extremely polished. And say what you want about Other M, but that game looked extremely polished. No matter how badly you might dislike it, that game looks amazingly polished, just like any other Metroid game in the series. Nintendo does not slack on that series when it comes to making it visually impressive. They never have, and I doubt that they ever will, with the exception of Federation Force, and that's because of the hardware that they were putting it on. Like, that's because of the hardware that they were putting it on and what they wanted to cram into games, so they kind of had to take the look down a little bit. But even that game honestly doesn't look bad for what they did. I mean, yes, it's not an aesthetic preference for a lot of people, but that game honestly didn't look bad either. So, with that in mind, I'm sorry, I would not be in a rush. I would not be disappointed to have Nintendo say, okay, well, we're not showing Metroid Prime 4 this year. Okay, we'll show it next year because it's probably going to be their big game next year. Like, to me, I don't get being mad at them for telling you exactly what they're going to do. Like, literally, Microsoft and Nintendo told you exactly what they were going to do. Sony told you exactly what they were going to do. And I see people getting mad at them for doing exactly as they said. Microsoft said that they were going to bring constant game after game, and they did that. And people still say, oh, no, Microsoft lost this year. Like, honestly, I don't really care who won or not. Like, my preference is that Microsoft had the best show. Like, that's as far as I'm concerned. Like, I don't really give a damn what everybody else says. But then we got people jumping on the Sony bandwagon. Oh, all their games look better than everything. I'm like, if you're telling yourself that, then you lying. Like, yeah, Sony had some really impressive looking games, but if you tell yourself that Sony had, like, every game that Sony showed looks better than everything from everyone else, you're lying to yourself. Like, I'm sorry. You're lying to yourself. They had some really impressive looking games. I'm not going to lie. But you can't say that everything that they had looked better than everything else that was coming out. Nope. I don't go for that. But that's, like, this is just my overall thoughts. Microsoft had the best showing. They had a lot of games. They hit you hard with a lot of stuff. They even talked about a couple things that I kind of harped on a little bit earlier this year, especially with the Play Everywhere thing and the Microsoft Xbox app. And the, not Microsoft Xbox, the Android Xbox app. And why can't we play games on mobile with Xbox Live when the app is almost identical to the PC app? Now, I doubt that that's because of me, but the fact that I brought it up and it's coming about, like, tells me, yeah, they realized that in and of itself could have been a lawsuit, just like what Sony had to deal with the PS Vita and all the false advertising. That could have been a lawsuit for them, but the fact that they're working on that, I don't think anybody's going to bring it up now. Like, people are they're a little too late because Microsoft already put in the works for it to happen and for it to work out. So you can practically use any machine to access your Xbox account, which is actually pretty cool. Like that works for Microsoft, but I also at the same time feel like it still takes away from their home console platform, the Xbox itself, because then you have really no reason to pick up the box. Like if anything, like you can really just play all your content digitally from just about any other source. So you really don't need the Xbox One itself. It's nice to have, but you don't need it. Like that's how I see it. And that's the unfortunate thing, but like they really have to figure out something that makes the box itself relevant or makes it worth getting. But that's on them to handle. All of Sony's games, I swear, like all that stuff, I just want to play it. I do want to play it. I didn't like how long and drawn out all again their developer interviews were. Mostly because they didn't really give you any new information. It was just them repeating information. And then on top of that, they didn't really show anything different. So it was like, what was the point of this? Like, you guys could have just had like a 20-minute thing just showing the trailers back to back with each other, or maybe like 40 minutes with somebody in between giving a brief explanation of all the games. And then for the rest of your time, you could have shown live gameplay on the show floor of each individual game, and that would have been far more entertaining. Like that's the only reason that I put Sony below Nintendo. That's literally the only reason, because it bored the hell out of me toward the end because they were dragging everything out. Like that was it. Like if it wasn't for that, Sony's show would have actually been better for me than Nintendo's, but they dragged everything out. It just it got annoying. That's why I put them below Nintendo. For anybody who's curious. But then Nintendo comes out, they came out swinging. But like, they showed off a bunch of stuff that you probably wouldn't have normally seen with them anyway. Before they went to Smash. Like what everybody knows, Smash is one of their bread and butter titles. Like once they announce Smash is the focus until it comes out. And even after, if they keep up with DLC like they did with Smash 4. But that's just going to be something people are going to have to deal with. Like y'all can't like be ticked off at well, you can be, but I'm just saying it's nonsensical to be ticked off at the companies when they told you exactly what they were going to do and they followed through on what they said. When they give you what they tell you they're going to give you and you get mad at that point, then that's on you. I'm sorry. That's on you. Now, I do know that people have some gripes about how certain things are going to go, especially when it comes down to Nintendo and the online. Like information not being fully fleshed out and not being told how certain things work. You know, I get it and I understand that. I totally, fully understand that. I'm not mad about that people have those gripes, but I think at a certain point, you have to stop taking it to a certain extreme. Because we've harped on this enough. Or maybe we haven't harped on it enough. I don't know. It's hard to decide which is the case when it comes down to Nintendo. Because, like, again, certain things don't personally affect me the same way as it would have certain other people. So I guess I don't put as much stock into certain things. Like voice chat, because I use so many different other chat clients that it doesn't really matter to me how voice chat works on the Nintendo Switch. Or even Xbox One or the PS4. It just really doesn't matter to me at all how it works. As long as I think the option should be available, but I don't really care how it works. That's been my thing. But I know that with Mario Tennis and Mario Party, they really didn't give a whole lot of information on how online works for either of those games, and I do understand that people have some frustration. So I won't be like, I'm not telling you not to be frustrated. I'm just saying, like, take some time, like cool down a little bit. Let's see how things pan out, and then give your full thoughts after that. But that's really it. I don't really have a whole lot more to say for this. I'm trying to get my videos back into production. Like I've been recording audio, but I just haven't been like doing the videos and like putting them together. So hopefully I'll be able to get back to that soon because I've just been working really hard as of late, like trying to take care of stuff that my family needs. So I've been on top of making money for the most part, which has taken away a bit of my time, unfortunately. So you guys are thank you for being patient with me, but yeah, I do apologize that I haven't really been able to give you guys a whole lot of time for my channel. I'm hoping to change that. Hopefully by the end of summer things will pick back up and I'll be able to do more videos and stuff. I need to be able to have the time set aside, and unfortunately currently I just really need to take care of some stuff. So I have to work extremely hard, which means that I don't have as much time to do my videos and I don't have as much time to record and stuff. So hopefully that changes very soon. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. Hit that bell if you want to get notified for my videos and things. If you are subscribed, if not, please subscribe. Go ahead. You might like more of my content. And if you have not, please check out my Pitch for Switch video playlist and see how many games I said should happen for the Nintendo Switch since I started that. What was it? It was late 2016, I believe I started that. See how many games I said should be on the Switch, and check their release dates versus versus me saying that those games should be on the Switch, and see how many so far have popped up on there. I think I'm up to at least 10. And then there were my 2 joke tweets. My one last year about Rocket League coming to the Switch, and then they ended up on the Switch in that year. And then my earlier this year joke tweet, and I said it was a rumor. It wasn't a rumor. But my joke tweet about Dragon Ball Fighter Z coming to the Switch this year, and lo and behold, we get we get the announcement. I'm like, okay, well, that's another one. So I think I'm doing pretty good on games that end up on this platform. Outside of completely original thoughts, that's like there's not necessarily a way that those are just going to come and happen. But you go ahead and check out that playlist. But that's it. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a very beautiful, lovely day, and peace out. Now it doesn't want to stop recording. Piece of crap.